Suma, what is production? Hemalata, what is production? What is production? What is sandbox?
So production is real time arc, sir. Sorry, real time data arc.
Okay.
Sandbox is nothing but copy of production. The replica of production.
Yeah,
Replica
man.
of production.
Okay. What we'll do in production, what we'll do in sandboxes. What is the purpose of production? What is the purpose of sandboxes? Sanjay?
Uh, Production, we can't, like, that is the final output. We can't perform any edits on the production. Basically, we make changes or anything in the sandbox, and once that is finalized, we move on to the production. Like, production is only handled by the uh, end users, whereas sandbox, that is where we develop or we make changes. We just deploy the production.
Correct. Yeah. So production is like a real-time environment. So that will use by end users. Okay. If you want to develop any application or test application or whatever you want to do. Okay. Training, for example, you want to give some training to the other people. There we can do all these things, training, development, testing, user acceptance testing, all these things where we can do. It is production, right? Production sandbox, development, training, testing, whatever you want to do, where we can do all these things. Production or sandbox. Namrata, where we can do. Mahesh, where we can do all these changes. I want to do, for example, I want to give some training to the other team, like internal team, or I want to develop some functionality. I want to test the functionality. So where I can do all these things. Mahesh, వినిపిస్తుందా Mahesh? Can you hear me? So others can hear me, sir? వినిపిస్తుందా నా వాయిస్? Hello? Sanjay?
వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
Yeah, tell me, sir. Where we can do the development, testing, training, production sandbox.
We
Sandbox.
can do it only on sandbox. In production, we should not. We are not authorized to do anything. Production
Correct.
is the final.
Correct. So all the changes, anything, sir, development, testing, training, whatever you want to do, you can do where? In a sandboxes only. Okay. That's it. So what are the editions available in Salesforce? Mahesh, what are the editions available in Salesforce? How many editions are there? Kusuma, what are the editions we have in Salesforce?
Developer edition.
Okay. You should practice more,
Professional
madam. Why?
edition, sir.
No, one second. So why are you taking time? Actually, we have not started like a training in depth also. It is very basic functional questions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So then why you are taking time? Whenever I'm asking question, you should give answer immediately. So
Sure, sir.
why you are taking time, madam? You are not preparing. You are working somewhere, Suma, or not working?
No, sir.
Then what you are doing, madam? You should give answer immediately. Huh? Mahesh, like I'm not getting answers from you answers. I need answers. Okay. So see, whatever we are doing from today onwards, after 4 5 months, it will be easy for you only. You can easily crack the interview. So if you are not starting now, then how we will start after 5 6 classes? We are going in-depth training now. That time it will be difficult for you. So please respond now whenever I'm asking question. You should prepare it. Okay, you have to give answers. You have to do research, even not only whatever I'm teaching. After teaching, you can do the research in Google. You will get a more content research, okay, more information. So please give the answers. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా మహేష్ హేమలత సుమా?
Sure, sir.
So please don't delay. It is very basics, madam. These are very, very basic questions. Are you writing any code now? Are you writing any code, or are you doing any coding? No, right? It is very functional questions. If you're not answering functional questions, how you will answer the coding questions? So I'm requesting you, please, like prepare. Okay, go in depth and research in Google. What is cloud computing? Give me more real-time examples. What is like a sandbox? What is production? Okay, not only what I'm teaching, you have to do the more research. So please do that. Understand? Okay. So tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, I'll ask more in all the questions from last 4 classes, madam. Please, I want answers like immediately, like not like thinking. I don't want like that. Understand, madam? Please, everyone. Okay.
Sure, sir.
S-
Yes, sir.
So, okay. Yesterday we discussed about sandbox and production. Okay. So how we can create sandboxes, Sanjay? Where we can create sandboxes? Sanjay, can you hear me? How we can create sandboxes? Sanjay, can you hear me or not? I'm not.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir. If you don't answer, no problem. You can unmute and you can just tell me, no idea, sir. Initial days, no problem. I'll accept it. After 10 days, I'll not accept it. Understand, sir?
Okay.
Tell me, you know answer, you don't know.
I
How to
don't
create
know,
sand?
sir.
Where we can create sandboxes? Hemlata?
Sir,
How we can create sandboxes? Where we can create sandboxes? If I want to get one sandbox, where I need to go?
mm,
If you purchase Salesforce license, what you will get first? Production or sandbox?
Production.
sandbox.
One
Sandbox.
After
production.
below that, you'll have like create new sandbox. So you can create sandbox in that
Yeah.
way.
So first we'll get a production license. Once you purchase Salesforce, like a CRM, you will get a production. From the production, there is an option called to create a sandboxes. Understand, sir? Okay. Okay. So normally, okay, there are 4 types of sandboxes, sir. Normally, 4 types of sandboxes. Okay. One is a developer sandbox. Another one is developer pro. So, and other one is partial copy sandbox. And last one is full sandbox. Okay. So there are 4 types of sandboxes. Okay. There are 4 types of sandboxes. One is a developer sandbox. So developer pro sandbox, partial copy sandbox, full sandbox. So why they are giving 4 sandboxes? Because so based on the Salesforce edition you are purchasing, okay, you will get these sandboxes. Okay. Actually, these two are very basic sandboxes. Generally, if you want to develop any functionality, just normal functionality, you want to test with some simple records with the low data and all, you can go for this. You can create the sandboxes. You want to test with the more data and you want to copy some data from the production also. When at the time of creating sandboxes, so where we can create sandboxes, we can create sandboxes from the production. At the time of creation of sandboxes, you want to copy. So normally what will happen? So developer sandbox, at the time of creation of developer sandbox, you can copy only metadata. Anyone knows what is metadata?
Data about data, sir.
Understand, madam. Tell me real example like how, what are the metadata things?
Um, metadata.
For example, I'll take a student object. Okay, this is object. What is student, madam? Object, like a table. Normally, you can call it table, right? Student table, object, whatever it may be. In the student table, what are the like columns will come, madam, normally?
Names, class, section, branch.
Name, phone, email. What else, madam? Class, date of birth, section, etc., etc.
ID name.
Okay. So all these things is nothing but a metadata. Okay. Student is nothing but object. What we can call all these things? Fields. Okay. So student is a table name. In the table, what are the important things, madam? Important columns? Name, phone, email, classes, etc., etc., etc. Understand? So this is called metadata. What is data? For example, I want to create a new record. For example, Suma. Suma is a name. Suma phone number. Example, 9 something like this. Next, what is Suma email? Suma@gmail.com. Next, what? Classes, etc., etc. So here, Suma is what? Data or metadata?
Metadata.
Suma is a what's a data or metadata? Tell me once.
That record.
This
Metadata.
this is a record, sir. Record means
Record.
data. Is this record? This is not record, right? To store the records, we need something like table, like object fields and all. So this is called metadata. Okay. So data is nothing but a real-time data, madam. Okay, students, teachers, customers, accounts, whatever it may be, leads and all those things are nothing but a data if you want to create it. But if you want to create data, what you need? How you can create data? If there is no student table, you can create data. If there is no name field name in the Excel sheet, can you add a name? If there is no phone in the Excel sheet, can you enter the phone number? No, right? So this is called metadata. This is called data. If you want to create a data, what we need? What you need? If you want to create data, what you need? Metadata. Understand, madam? అర్థమవుతుందా? Hello, everyone.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So data means records, sir. Simple terms. Data is nothing but a records. Metadata is nothing but to store the data, you need to create some components like tables, columns, all these things is nothing but a metadata. Understand? So normally, if you create a sandbox from the production, where we can create sandboxes from the production. So what you will get if you create a developer sandbox? What you will get, sir? Metadata only. Metadata means what? For example, yesterday I shown you, right? At the time of creating new sandbox, whatever is their components, like example, yesterday we discussed about some applications, rainbow application and all. If you create new sandbox, what will happen?
Latest.
It will automatically copy to the new sandbox.
Latest.
Understand? Understand, sir? Okay. So Subbareddy, please mute yourself. Okay. So developer pro sandbox also will get only metadata. Okay. Here we'll get only metadata. Metadata means what, sir? Components, whatever there in the production, you'll get all the components like application is there, example, hospital application is there. Okay. All those things you'll get. Yesterday I mentioned, right? Already forgot everything. For example, we'll first, whenever you purchase Salesforce license, what you will get? Once you purchase Salesforce license, what you will get first?
Production.
Production. So from the production, what you can do, sir? You can create a multiple sandboxes based on the requirement. For example, I'm creating sandbox one here. Example, my sandbox name is Dev Sandbox. For example, already in the production by default, some applications are there. Salesforce is giving by default applications. Anyone knows what are the by default Salesforce is giving which applications? Sales, comma, service, right? Some applications by default Salesforce is providing already. Sales, service, applications, lead object, right? Account, contact, opportunity, all those things by default providing by Salesforce, right? So for example, if I'm creating one new sandbox called Dev, my sandbox name is example Dev. So if I create new sandbox, so what will happen, sir? Automatically, what will happen if I create new sandbox? So sandbox is nothing but what? Sandbox is nothing but
Yes.
what?
Copy of production.
So copy of
Copy,
production.
replica.
Next to
replica, anything, madam. The copy of production. So automatically, whatever is there here, what are the things are exist already production? ఏమున్నాయి? Sales application, service application, so many things are there. So automatically, it will copy where? ఎక్కడ కాపీ అవుతాయి మేడం అవన్నీ? Where it will copy? Where it will copy? In the new sandbox. If I'm creating new sandbox from production, okay. So what will happen? Automatically, it will copy all the existing metadata components to the new sandbox. అర్థమవుతుందా? Understanding or not? Reply. Reply one, yes or no? Sanjay, Hemalata,
yes.
tell me. So I'll ask questions, sir. If you're not speaking also, no, I'll continuously ask. Tell me. If I create new sandbox, what will happen? ఏమవుతుంది if I create new sandbox? It will copy all the components, whatever is there in the production, it will copy all the components into the sandbox. Understand? అర్థమవుతుందా? Hello?
Yeah.
Even the data, will it even copy like dev colon SBX,
So this is
the data which we store?
this is metadata, sir. Understand? Data also will copy, but that will only in the there are 4 types of sandboxes, right? So this only here first 2 sandboxes will get only metadata, sir. Okay. Here there is option metadata plus partial data, not complete data in the production. Some sample partial data you can copy it. So this full sandbox is same like a production. It will completely copy metadata plus data. Understand? So normally what will happen, sir? So whenever you're creating a, for example, I'm in production now. Okay, if I want to create new sandbox, what is the option? So you have to go to the sandboxes, click a new sandbox button. There is a button will be there. I'll show you this one in the last, okay, end of the course. Yeah, I will show you, if I'll show you sandbox and production, it will confuse now. Okay. So in production, if you click new sandbox, there are 4 types of sandboxes. What are the 4 types of sandboxes, sir? Developer, developer pro, partial copy, full sandbox. Okay. If you want to, like based on the requirement, we can choose the sandboxes. Like for example, you want to do like a real more testing, and you want to do like a same like a production, all those things, you can create a full sandbox. Okay. Like you want to create like some basic development, all those things, you can go for these basic sandboxes. Okay. So all these things will happen. Understand? So once you click a production new sandbox, it will give the 4 options. If you choose these 2 options, what you will get? Only components. I mean nothing but a metadata. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా? If you created these 2 sandboxes, what you will get? Only metadata. Metadata means what? Like objects, fields, tables, validations, some all those things, component coding or Office classes, all those things you will get. If you choose these 2 sandbox, so we have to create one template which data you want to retrieve from the production. You can get metadata plus data. This one you'll get metadata plus all data. Whatever is there in production, you can get all the data also. But anyway, even though you are getting this data, it is only for testing. It is not like a real time. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా?
Yes.
So now tell me, for example, I have created new sandbox. Now I am doing some development here. For example, I have developed one more application here called hospital application. Okay, hospital app. So this is a custom application. So whatever default by Salesforce is providing, that is called standard. If you create new thing, that is called custom application. Okay. So normally after developing application, what is the second thing we have to do, sir? Can we deploy directly this application to production, or we need to do something? What we have to do?
Testing.
Testing. Where we can do the testing? Here or here? Here or here?
First sandbox.
Yeah, for that also we can create a separate sandbox, right? For testing also, you can create a separate sandbox. What we can call, for example, that sandbox name is just SBX. So for example, if I create new sandbox here, so what will happen? Automatically, whatever is there here, like applications and all will copy into the where?
Production.
Another
Sandbox. Right,
All
sir?
the sandbox.
Right? So simple, sir. If you create any sandbox, automatically whatever is existing in the production, it will copy to the new sandbox. Okay. So production and sandbox both are Salesforce only. Salesforce are same org, same functionality. But production is a real-time org. Sandboxes are just for development, testing, training, all those things we can do in the sandboxes. అర్థమవుతుందా? Hello?
Yes.
For example, this is a test sandbox. So automatically what will happen if you create sandboxes? It will copy all the components, whatever is there in the production. Understand everyone? అర్థమవుతుందా? So now in the development, so we have developed some new functionality called hospital application. So after development, what we can do? We need to do the testing. To test this functionality, what we have to do? So we have to move this functionality. We have to deploy this functionality from development sandbox to test sandbox, right? So then after testing, what we can do, sir? After testing, can we deploy directly?
UAT.
So normally we can move this in the UAT. Who will test this functionality?
For testing.
Who will test this functionality in the UAT? End users, like a application, hospital application people will test the functionality. This is called UAT. So in the UAT also passed, then what it means? So where then we can deploy these changes to the where, madam?
Production.
Production. Understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
So this is hospital application, right? Like this. Now tell me, I want to create one more sandbox that is for training purpose. For example, I'll create a new sandbox name here. Example, my new sandbox name is training something. Okay. So if I create new sandbox now, training sandbox example here. So what will happen? Example, what will happen if I'm creating new sandbox here? So the sandbox name is what? What is my
Production will
sandbox?
again be copied to a new sandbox.
For example, I'm creating one more sandbox here, right? What is my sandbox name? Training. So tell me what all the things will come here now? Only sales application, service application will come, or all the things, whatever is there, everything will come?
Everything will come.
Correct. Exactly. So if you create new sandboxes again, what will happen? What are all the things are there here? Sales is there, service is there, hospital, everything will come into this app, this sandbox. So that's why what we are calling sandbox is nothing but a copy of a production. Understand? ఎందుకు copy of production అంటారు? Everyone is following what I'm saying?
It's just like creating backup for the
Correct.
production.
Yeah, something we can think like that, but it's not like a backup. If you want to do any development, testing, training, all these things we can do in the where's the sandboxes only. Understand? అర్థమవుతుందా?
Yes.
So how many types of sandboxes are there? Like we have
Oh.
4 types of sandboxes here. You can see. Okay, sir. So developer sandbox. This is a basic sandbox actually. So here what you can get only metadata. Metadata means what, sir? Like I mentioned, right? Like tables, fields, validations, classes, users, all those things you'll get. Understand? But here, what's the limitation here? We can store only 200 MB data. Okay, in the basic sandbox, you can store the limitation of 200 MB data. So this refresh, what is refresh? I'll tell you later. Okay, this is a basic sandbox. Here we can store the 200 MB of data. So it will include only what's the metadata and all these things. configurations, things, apex, and metadata, all users. If you create a developer pro sandbox, what will happen? Here you can store up to 1 GB data. It will include same metadata, all these things. But when we create a partial data sandbox, so it will include, what it will include, sir? What it will include? Partial copy sandbox. Metadata plus
Partial.
data. You can get the some sample records also if you want to see some real-time data. Okay. You can copy it, sample of selected records. For example, I want to copy not all the objects. I want to copy from the lead object, student object, case object, something like that. You can select it, you can copy it. Understand, sir? And full sandbox, it is like a same like a production. Okay, in the production, whatever we can like is there, right? We can do all these things in a like a full sandbox. It is like a same as a source. Source means what's here? Production. So here you can see only 5 GB data, up to 5 GB data. You can test it, all these things. Here it is like a same like a production. Whatever the limitations are there in production. Understand everyone? So say if you buy Salesforce the unlimited edition, based on that you will get all these different types of sandboxes. Okay. I think that one also I have some images. I'll tell you. Somewhere I can see that images. Yeah, for example, if you can see. So if you buy unlimited edition, Salesforce unlimited edition, okay. So you will get one full sandbox, one partial copy sandbox here, and 5 Dev Pro sandboxes. Uh, and this one is a basic sandbox. You will get 100. For which edition? Unlimited edition. If you buy like an enterprise edition, one full sandbox, one partial copy, 5 Developer Pro, and 100 enterprises. If you go with the professional, you will not get any full sandbox here. You will get a one partial copy sandbox like this, 0, 25. Understand? So based on the Salesforce edition you are buying, you will get the sandboxes limitations. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా what I'm saying? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is like a. So what is refresh again? So this is clear. You can store the 200 MB data in developer sandbox. It will include metadata. If you create developer pro sandbox, it will include 1 GB data we can store, 1 GB files, 1 GB data. It will include metadata. If you take this one, 5 GB data, metadata plus sample data. Okay, this one, what's the metadata plus complete data, same like a production. So you can see for each sandbox, there is something called refresh interval. For each sandbox, there is an option called refresh. Okay. So for example, whenever I'm creating sandboxes, where we can get sandboxes? Where we can get sandbox? Production, right? Okay.
Production.
Uh-huh. Whenever you create sandboxes, for each sandbox, there is an option, sir. మనకు ఒక ఆప్షన్ ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ. There is some option for each sandbox called refresh button. Okay. For each sandbox, you can see that there is a button called refresh button. Okay. What this button will do? Okay. What is the purpose of this button for each sandbox? Okay. Understand? Okay. For example, now I want to create a new functionality like a school application example. Okay. I want to create some school application. I want to store students and teachers data. So where I need to create now? School application, tell me. Where I have to start that school application now? Where I need to develop that functionality? Where I need to do that development school application now? Can I do this directly? Production?
Full application from dev sandbox.
So first anything, this is a life cycle. Dev, you test, UAT and production. This is a life cycle. So any new changes, any new developments, where we have to start? ఎక్కడ చేయాలి సార్?
Sandbox.
Developer or okay, developer sandbox. So what is the requirement now? I want to create one school app. And what I want to create? some student table example. Okay, like this. School app. Yeah. I want to create a some this like this. I want to create a. Okay, sir. So I'm developing this application of school app and student. Okay. So now I have created this application. I have created a student table. I have created fields like name for so many things I have developed now. Okay. So now what my customer is saying, okay, just leave about this student, it will confuse. So we are developing hospital application, right? So what I want to do is now I want to store the patient data, patients table. I want to get patient object, doctors, something like that. I want to get new objects now. Okay. Patient and doctors. So after I have developed all this functionality now in this sandbox. Okay. Now, so it is tested. Okay, it is tested. So what I can do after testing this application, this objects and all, what I have to do? What we have to do after developing this application and all? After developing
Send
these
it to
objects,
production.
we need to move this to the sandbox to test, right? Again, one more sandbox testing. Yes or no?
Testing send. Yes.
Yeah.
Like that, like that. But what is happening is, so they started development part now. Okay. Now what this customer is saying is, okay, don't use this patient object. We can discuss this later. Uh, can you just delete all the components, whatever you developed? So you developed patient object, you developed doctor object. So you created fields like a name, patient age, data. So many things you created now. Where you created all these things? ఎక్కడ క్రియేట్ చేశారనే న్యూ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ మొత్తం now? Where is that new all the functionalities you developed now? Where? This table, patient table and all. Which places it is there now? All the new things. ఎక్కడ ఉంది సార్ దట్ న్యూ డెవలప్మెంట్ పార్ట్ వాట్ యూ డిడ్ రీసెంట్లీ పేషెంట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అండ్ ఆల్ వేర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ దేర్ నౌ ఎక్కడ ఉంది సార్ డెవలపర్ శాండ్ బాక్స్ రైట్ ఇస్ దిస్ పేషెంట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఇస్ దేర్ నౌ టెస్ట్ ఉందా ఇట్ ఈస్ దేర్ పేషెంట్ టేబుల్ ఇస్ దేర్ హియర్
No, sir.
హియర్ హియర్ ఉందా దిస్ పేషెంట్ టేబుల్
ఎస్ సార్
ఇక్కడ సార్ యూఐటీలో ఉందా
UIT-లో లేదు.
సో వేర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ దేర్ దట్ న్యూ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ in the dev sandbox.
Develop. Yes.
Correct. Okay. So now what is customer is saying? So don't do any new development. Whatever you developed now, you developed something called so many things. You developed patient table. Okay. In the patient, you created all these fields, patient name, phone number, so many things you created. So many things you created in the where? Sandbox. Which sandbox? Dev sandbox. Okay. So many things, etc. etc. Now he's saying, I don't want to this functionality, just remove it. How we can remove it now? He's saying, I don't want whatever you developed, just please remove. It should be synced with the Salesforce production. Okay. So production ఎలా ఉంటే అలాగే కావాలి. Please remove extra components, whatever you developed now. Again, it should be same like a production. I don't want this new functionality you developed. Understand what is my question? అర్థమవుతుందా? What is my question now? Sanjay, what is my question? Mahesh, Subbareddy, what is my question? Whatever the new functionalities I have developed in the sandbox, I don't want to put there. I want to remove it, all these things. It should be now again sync with the production. See now if you observe all these three are sync, yes or no? All these three sync, it is same like a
Yes.
production, all these, right? But what about this one? It is same like a production now, or it is extra changes are there?
New ప్రొడక్షన్ అనేది ఒకటి వచ్చింది సార్ దాంట్లో డెవలపర్లో.
హాస్పిటల్లో.
So there are some extra changes, right? Patients table, fields, all these things. So now what is customer saying? I want to again sync with the what? Same like a production. ఇక్కడ ఎలా ఉంటే ఇక్కడ ఇలాగే ఉండాలి. All those I don't, whatever I created extra things, I want to remove it. What we can do is we can just click a refresh button. How we can copy again sync with how we can sync the sandbox with production side again now? How we can
Clicking
sync?
the refresh button.
Just
Refresh
if
button.
you, if you click this refresh button, what will happen? Again, this sandbox, again, what it will do? It will exactly copy all the metadata is there, whatever is there. Again, it will completely copy, it will put here.
I have one question. Even if we save the sandbox, still the refresh button will work. Like once we click on it.
Yeah, it will work. So that's what if you do here. So actually, when we click this refresh button is normally if you want to sync this production with the sandbox, I mentioned right for basic sandboxes. After one day, after getting sandbox, if you just click a refresh button, it will work. After one day, you can click anytime. This is minimum entry criteria for this sandbox. For full sandbox, for every 29 days, you can refresh it. For example, today I have created one full sandbox. For example, I will give that full sandbox name is example testing. Okay. I have created a new testing sandbox. What is the testing sandbox type? It is full sandbox. So that testing sandbox, I want to refresh tomorrow. So it is not possible because we should wait at least 29 days to refresh the again to sync with the production. But in case if it is there any emergency you wanted to refresh it, we can contact Salesforce company, support people will do that. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా? Generally, what is the meaning of refresh is, again, if you want to sync all your sandboxes to with the same like a production, what you can do, sir? You can click the refresh button. అర్థమైందా? Understand everyone?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. So that is all about sandboxes. Okay, sir. So normally, okay. So for Salesforce, all the editions we have sandboxes, right? We can, if you buy Salesforce application, either editions, unlimited edition, okay, a performance edition, contract manager edition, group edition. If you buy editions, you will get a sandboxes. So, but where we are doing now, for example, but we are buying any Salesforce edition now, like for practice purpose. Are we buying any Salesforce license? What is edition we are going to use?
Developer edition, sir.
Is this edition is a paid edition or a free edition?
Free edition.
Free edition. This is a free edition, right, sir? So normally, if you buy any Salesforce editions, you will get a production plus sandboxes. Understand? అర్థమవుతుందా? Normally, if you buy these editions, either unlimited, enterprise, professional, all these things, what will happen? You will get the sandboxes. Understand? You can see count also how you will get sandboxes. అర్థమవుతుందా? But our edition is a free edition. So for this, you will get sandboxes or not get? Any guess? No sandboxes, sir. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా? For free editions, Salesforce is not giving any sandboxes because it is a free. If you create sandboxes and all those things anyway, it will affect Salesforce servers. So that's why they are not giving sandboxes, but you can do everything. Whatever we will do in the like real-time sandboxes and everything, we can do in the same Salesforce org. Understand? అర్థమవుతుందా? Understand, sir? For developer edition is there is no sandboxes, but how we can real time like we can use this is like a so they are giving free edition, so that's why we need to use this is like a both. We need to think this is like sandbox plus production. Ante we can do everything here only. We can do everything where sir in this arc only. This is we need to think like a sandbox plus production. అర్థమవుతుందా? Understand? Hello? Say yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. So as I mentioned, first what you will get, sir, if you buy Salesforce edition? Production and sandboxes.
Only production.
Production. Okay. For example, my production, so it will take a school application, SMS application example. So they are purchasing Salesforce license. Okay. School name, you can give anything. Okay. So, for example, my name is like I'm giving my name like Varaprasad. Okay. At the rate SMS.com. This is my username. Example I'm saying. Okay. This is my username in the production. Okay. So normally how we can identify production sandboxes is, so this is in case if this is your username in the production. Okay. So what will happen if you create sandboxes, that time automatically users also will copy, right? Automatically users also will copy. For example, I'm creating one sandbox name. For example, my sandbox name is Dev Sandbox. As I mentioned, I'm creating a new sandbox here. What is the sandbox name, sir? Dev Sandbox. So then automatically what is my username here is same username, just it will append with the sandbox name. Understand, sir? How we can identify productions and sandboxes? So production will be directly, you can see the username with the .com. But when it comes to the sandboxes, what will happen? In the sandboxes, what will happen? Username plus what will it will append? What it will add again? Sandbox name. Understand? For example, I'm creating one more sandbox now called test. Tell me, sir, what is my username now for test sandbox?
Prasad@sms.com.
Just here, it will be like a
Test.
test. For example, I am creating one more sandbox now, UAT. What is my username?
.ut.
Prasad@sms.com.uh.
Correct. So, like this. If you create anything, example, I'm creating one more sandbox name from the production, like QA. Tell me what is my username?
Prasad@sms.com.
Understands? Correct.
Yeah.
So normally, so how we can identify if in the username it will be like it will automatically append with the your sandbox name. That is like a sandboxes means this is like we are going to do the for development testing all these things we are getting username with the sandbox name. But production directly you can log in with the this normal name. Okay. Okay. Now you can easily identify what is production, what is sandboxes. So to log into this production, which URL we can use is login.salesforce.com. To log into the production, which URL we have to use, sir? To log into the Salesforce production, which URL we have to use?
Salesforce.com.
Login.salesforce.com. To log into the sandboxes, which URL we have to use? Test.salesforce.com. Understand? అర్థమవుతుందా? So in the real time, if you go any company, okay, you are like if they are giving username and password, so how you can identify these are like a production sandbox? If they are giving some username, how you can identify it is like a production sandbox? If username is appending with the dot some name, that is nothing but what? If your username is like appending with some name, sandbox. If there is no appending, then it is directly like some domain production. Simple. అర్థమవుతుంది అందరికి వాట్ ఐమ్ సెయింగ్ హౌ వి కెన్ ఐడెంటిఫై ఇట్ ఇస్ a production sandbox in real time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And one more thing is to log into the sandboxes, so we have to use which URL? test.salesforce.com. Why will use this test.salesforce.com URL? Why will use this URL? This URL is for which purpose?
Sandbox.
Log into. You can see what is the name it is showing here.
Log into Sandbox.
For example, if I want to log into production, which URL we have to use? Log into production. Which URL we have to use?
Login.salesforce.com.
So what is the option you are seeing button name? What is the button name showing here? Login
Login.
only. If we take test, What is the name it is showing?
Login to Sandbox.
So you can easily understand right now. So for production, if we can use which URL we can use? Login dot. Which URL we can use, sir? Login
Login
dot.
to Salesforce.
For sandboxes.
Tester.salesforce.
Okay. Now one more question. So we created recently one user, right? I think in the second class. We created one user, right? What is the username? Have taken this. This is which edition? This is which edition? We created user
Read.
Developer edition.
developer edition.
Developer editions.
So now if developer edition is like a production or sandbox. Developer edition is like a production or sandbox.
Only production.
Production.
Developer edition is a pre edition. It is like a production or sandbox.
Production plus
Production.
It is like a production only.
Production.
Can we get any sandboxes this edition?
No.
No. So that's why what we can do is we can do development testing also. Where, sir? We can do development and testing also where all these things in this are bound.
Production.
Okay, because it is not providing sandboxes. So that is the reason what we have to do is we can do all these things. But in the real time, where we can do, if you buy Salesforce editions, what will happen? You will get a, if you buy Salesforce editions, what will happen? You will get only production, or what else you will get? If you buy editions, what will happen?
All development and testing.
You will get a edition. If you buy a editions, this
Sandboxes.
paid editions, you will get a sandboxes also, right? All this. But developer edition is a free editions. They are not giving any sandboxes. It is like a, so that's why what we have to do. We need to do all these things, development, testing, and all these things in the same arc only. Understand? అర్థమైందా?
Yes.
Sir, అర్థమైందా? Okay. Now tell me for this developer edition, which URL I have to use? For this developer edition, which URL I have to use? It is production sandbox.
Login.salesforce.
Why login.salesforce.com?
It was production.
Correct. So which URL we have to use now? Login.salesforce. Right, sir? So here we have to give the username. What is the username? I've given already copied this one. And password I'll give by password and click a login. అర్థమవుతుందా కాన్సెప్ట్? వాట్ ఈస్ ద శాండ్ బాక్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ అండ్ వాట్ ఇస్ ప్రొడక్షన్ కాన్సెప్ట్ క్లియర్ టిల్ నౌ?
Yeah.
Just it is something like a maintenance. You can just ignore it, click on got it. So if you give your mobile number here, for example, you can select India here. If you give your mobile number, so what will happen is next time onwards, you will get a notifications to your mobile number. Like for example, if you log in your Gmail in other new laptop, what will happen? If you log in your same Gmail account in other laptop, new laptop or other places, what will happen, sir? Will you get notification in your mobile?
Notification will be sent. Yeah.
Correct. So similarly, if you log into the Salesforce in any new places apart from your laptop, regular laptop, first time it will ask her, you will get a notifications to this mobile number. If you don't want to register, you can ignore it. You will get a to the email, whatever the email you given right at the time of user name creation, you will get the email. Okay. So maybe I'll click I don't want or remind me later. So now we are logged into the Salesforce. This is our Salesforce. Okay. So normally in the Salesforce there are two things, sir. Actually, we have such a Salesforce started in 1999. I mentioned right. It started from the 1999. ఎప్పుడో స్టార్ట్ అయింది భూమి పుట్టినప్పుడు. Okay, 1999. So when Salesforce started, so there is we have only something called classic UI. It is like a older version. Okay, so classic UI. Now we are using Lightning UI. So what is the difference between classic UI, lightning UI, and different sentences, sir? Okay. For example, someone knows, right, something called HTML and HTML5. HTML is a basic HTML. Right, sir? If you take HTML5, what is that? It is advanced version of HTML5. Yes or no? For example, if you take your mobile, okay, if you use a WhatsApp, okay, eh, sometimes you'll get notifications. Update your WhatsApp, you are adding some new features like that. You will get notifications in the WhatsApp also. So that means what? Your older WhatsApp is like is there, but they're adding some new extra features to your WhatsApp application. So similarly, Salesforce when started, they're using some classic UI. It is like a older version UI, old UI. Okay. Now most of the customers, so after classic UI, no one is using actually. Almost 95% people, only maybe 5% of people are using this UI, classic UI. User UI means user interface. I think everyone knows, right? What is UI? తెలిసి అందరికి. Hello, what is the meaning of UI?
User interface.
User interface.
User
Nothing but this is called UI. We can see, right, something. This is UI screen, right? So this is okay. Older version is what is the older version, sir? That is a classic UI. But 6 7 years back, 7 8 7 years back, Salesforce okay started a Lightning UI. So now all the customers are using this Lightning UI only. 94% people. So for example, once you log into the Salesforce, so once you log into the Salesforce here, so first here you can see there is option called switch to classic. So classic is the older version. If you click classic, see this is how it is looking now. I'll show you older how it will look like older version, how it will be there. There are huge differences. So if you click now, switch to classic, same UI, that is not that much good. So which one is good now? Tell me. This user interface is good or this one? Which one is looking better? Classic or Lightning?
Lightning.
Lightning. So this Lightning is a like advanced version in the Salesforce. So this is supporting like a more functionalities compared to the classic. Okay. So in the next class, I'll tell you what is the classic. First, we'll discuss 2 3 classes in the classic UI, how it will work. Then we'll discuss in the Lightning, how Lightning is different from the classic. Understand, sir? అర్థమవుతుందా? So everyone created account. This Salesforce account created or not created it? చేసిరా చేయలేదా?
చేసాం సార్.